So one boy came up and told me that, Uncle, science gives us answers and your spirituality only gives us stories.
I mean, our lives are not perfect, right? Even though we might be, giving that idea of happiness, calm, and all, we're not perfect all the time.
Yeah.
And that contradictions are there.
Right.
It is how life is.
Right.
Then what do we do?
Except that there are contradictions. Can we have this authentic conversation with our children? Namaste. My name is Bidhan. 2012 is when I chanced upon Upanishads, and it had a profound impact on my life. Since then, I have dreamt to bring the key aspects of Upanishads in a manner which is simple, relatable, and implementable in our daily lives. So here we are with a set of videos to make spirituality simple.
So, Bidhan, 2 questions. Okay, we'll get to the second one a little later. But I think the first thing I want to know is how can we inculcate that idea, that concept of spirituality in young adults?
Why suddenly?
Well, I've been having, going through something with my friends in my personal life, but we'll get to that a little later. I just think the older we get sort of very stuck in our patterns and we have some conditioning that happens. And it's very difficult for us to change, right?
Right.
So wouldn't it have been easier if I had been introduced to a lot of these concepts when I was a young adult?
Interesting. So, yeah, that makes sense. When you were a young adult, so you are basically asking me how to inculcate spirituality in young adults.
Yes.
Between 15 to 25 years, is that what you're talking about there?
Probably, yeah, that is the age group.
Okay. Now, let me come straight to the point. When you want them to inculcate spirituality, what stops them? What do you think stops them from being spiritual?
I feel they just do the opposite of everything we tell them. I don't know, for some reason that's my feeling. And there's some sort of a feeling of rebelliousness, right? Like, if you say I'm not going to do it, or they probably think they know everything, or they're so critical of everything that we ask them. Like if I say something, they have to question it 100 times before they want to do it. So yeah, somewhere I think this is my current experience.
That's your experience. I think someone has really given you a tough time.
Oh yeah, but yeah.
So when I was sitting with a group of young adults, and we were basically understanding few concepts of karma and how does it work and so forth. So one boy came up and told me that, Uncle, science gives us answers and your spirituality only gives us stories.
I mean, he's not wrong. What do you say? What do you say when something like that happens?
Okay, the first and the foremost thing is this, that any questions that they ask us is not a sign of rebellion. It's a sign of intellect, right? Because if someone is questioning, it shows they're thinking.
Okay.
And that is called viveka. In our tradition, that was called viveka, the power to discern. So if these young adults are asking questions, it's a very good sign. It's better to be agnostic than to be a follower or a blind believer of anything.
Right.
So, and asking question is a sign of intelligence. So we should really feel good if someone is going to ask us question. It can be very irritating. But at the same time, it helps tremendously to listen to what they're saying. And let's start with that. Let's first understand what are the things that prevents the young adults to follow spirituality.
Right.
Let's understand that before we kind of then try and answer how can we help them move in that direction. Is that okay with you?
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
As per you, what stops them?
Like you just said, right? They are saying that spirituality is stories and science is something that is very concrete.
All right. So let's look at this to start with. And they're absolutely right. Now, you go to 10 different scientists and talk to them about gravity or how the universe started and many things. You will say they will give you one unified answer.
Yeah, okay.
In most of the cases.
Right.
There can be maybe 2 answers, but it will be more or less consistent. Now you go to 10 different people or religious people or whosoever it is, and you ask them about God.
Okay.
You will get 20 different answers.
I was just going to say that
And
we get more than 10.
Each answers will be completely contradictory to the previous answers or the answer which was given by someone else. And some interesting folks will also say there's nothing called God. You see what I'm saying? So imagine a child. On one hand, he or she is getting a proper answer which is consistent, which is reliable, which is data based, which is analysis. On the other hand, you're getting all voodoo stuffs, and you are getting stuffs which are absolutely contradictory on the real life. So isn't it but obvious that most of the young adults would feel like moving towards science and shunning spirituality? Isn't that obvious?
And that's completely very logical, right? Like, and as a parent, like if you talking about the point you just made, as a parent, what do we do? Like, because the contradictions will be there.
Yeah.
How do we tackle that?
The first thing you have to clearly, in your mind as a parent, you have to clearly distinguish the scope of science and the scope of spirituality. And let's not miss or mix and match this. Look, science is all about outer world, the world that we experience, isn't it? The world that we live in,
The physical.
the physical reality
Right.
that we all experience. And spirituality is about your own reality that is happening within you, the way you interpret this entire things which is happening outside of you. Spirituality is going within,
Right.
and science is talking about things which is outside. Don't mix these two
At least for the time being.
for the time being.
Right.
Now, if you give statements like that God created this universe, or God is sitting up there taking a
And
note of your karma,
Karmas, yeah.
right? Or God puts you in the problem so that he would see how strong you are or how willing you are towards the faith. They're going to listen to you maybe, and they will mock and they'll laugh behind you. They'll say, I think these guys don't understand. If gods were sitting up in the skies, the astronauts would have seen them. Or why is God playing so much of hide and seek with us? I think they're
It's
getting
an alien.
yeah, they're getting stuck. They're confusing God with alien. So don't mix these two. Be very, very clear that hey, there is an external world of science, right? It's doing what it's supposed to do. There is also something within you that, in terms of how do you remain calm, how do you remain peaceful from that space of calmness, how do you move towards your aspiration?
Right.
That are the things that needs to be spoken when you're talking about spirituality, not necessarily trying to superimpose on each other. That's for the starters. See, ultimately everything will be one. But I'm just saying, when you're talking to a young adult who is just out in the world, don't mix up. And as a parent, we need to be clear where science ends or science starts, where spirituality ends or spirituality starts. We need to have distinction before we even communicate with them.
But if I get what you're saying, but something like religion, I think, is also a very external thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
So then the question of religion versus spirituality
Yeah.
comes in.
Yeah.
What do we do there?
I see what you're saying. Now, we have to also very clearly distinguish between what religion is. Religion is basically a set of rituals that you do, right? A set of practices that you follow.
Okay.
And what is spirituality? You have to be very clear between these two.
Spirituality is about knowing your inner self.
Oh, yes. So let us look at this. How do you remain fit? What do you do to remain fit?
I gym quite often.
You gym quite often. Some of us may do yoga, some may do Pilates, some may have sports.
Right.
Right? So imagine, ultimate goal is what? Fitness.
Correct.
Imagine fitness as spirituality.
Okay.
Right? The ultimate goal is to remain anchored, to remain stable, to remain peaceful, to remain happy, to fulfill what you're supposed to do in this life. That's your ultimate goal. And the activities that we do to remain fit, you can call them as various rituals or religions.
So, like, I have different paths to fitness,
Yes.
like a yoga, Pilates, gymming.
Yes.
You're saying all the rituals and the religion are different paths towards spirituality.
Spirituality. Again, I'm saying you have to clearly scope out. Just as initially you have to clearly scope out what is the field of science and what is the field of spirituality. You have to clearly scope out that what does spirituality mean to you and what does religion mean to you. What does those ritual mean to you? And when you're doing those rituals, how does it feed in to spirituality? That's also very important.
What do you mean by that?
Suppose if you have been asked to light a diya,
Right?
why are you lighting a diya? How does it help you? What does it do to you throughout the day? Are you lighting a diya just to make the god happy and earn some punyam? And if you don't light a diya, the god will become angry and will give you punishment instead of having that mindset which most of us has grown up with, because most of us are scared of god, honestly, right? We are conditioned to do rituals not because we love them, but most of us are scared that if I don't do it for all, something wrong will happen, so let me just take this and do it.
Yeah, but if you think about it, Vedant, I don't think even we ourselves know the reason behind doing a lot of the rituals, right? Then
Yeah.
how am I going to tell the children?
So tell your child that I don't know. What is it? Just say that we've been doing it. It's fine. I mean, why do we need to superimpose saying you have to do it? Why do we need to give them lecture? Why do we need to make anybody feel scared? Just say I don't know. But I like doing it. It just makes me feel good. It just makes me feel peaceful.
Or let's find out together.
Or let's find it together.
Right.
I mean, one thing we should know about young adults, they like people who are honest. You don't need to be saying that I know it all. It's okay, I don't know. Big deal. Not everybody knows everything. And we'll figure it out together.
Right. So far you have said that, let's not mix and mingle, mix and match science and spirituality.
For the starters,
For the starters.
No, we should not.
Let's be very clear on the scope of science and the
Yes.
scope of spirituality.
Yes.
And you have just given a beautiful point of let's be honest with them. Let's be authentic.
Yes.
This is why we do what we do. And currently I don't know why I'm lighting a diya, but it makes me feel good. And let's not force it on them. That's what you're trying to say.
You should never do that. It's
Right.
like forcing a child to send to a school, thinking it's good for the child.
But we do, Bidan, come on. We force children to go to school even though it's not, they don't like it.
Yeah, but ultimately they start hating this school. Right?
Yeah.
So if you force a young adult to do things, they will not like it. I mean, just imagine what were you doing as a young adult? Yeah, what was I doing as a young adult? We used to also kind of say no to a lot of things our parents said, and it's natural to feel that way.
Right.
I mean, you need to just allow them, give them that space. It's okay. I will do it. And I can give you the reason which I have.
Nice. I mean, understanding it from their point of view more than anything.
Yes. At the same time, as a adult, you should be able to clearly see your scope. You should know what the scope of science is. What is the scope of spirituality? What is the scope of religion? And what is the scope of ritual? Be very clear in your head. Don't mix all the four. The problem is we mix all the four and we make a fool of ourselves sometimes, obviously.
And then they look at us like, what are you talking about?
What are you talking about,
Yeah. So yeah, I completely get the point of not mixing the scope. And you have just said to be very authentic with them and not force them into doing rituals which they don't find any meaning out of, right?
Yeah.
What else?
Okay, now another thing you need to see is that we are staying in the world which is hyper stimulated, isn't it? There is constant notifications, video games, Facebook, Insta. You're
overload of information.
And you are constantly, the young adults, including us, we are constantly on the media, correct? So for anyone to believe anything, they need to see and feel, because that's what we have been doing, right? We are always seeing and consuming through our five sense organs all the time.
Yeah.
So for them it has become even more, because that's how their life has been. It's been most of the time stimulated by
fast-paced
stimulated, right?
Right.
So they will only believe in things which they see, which they experience. Now you know that the process of spirituality is slow, is subtle.
Yeah.
Then how do they even experience the benefits of spirituality?
I think I have to ask you that question. How do they experience the benefits of spirituality in such a fast-moving world where they have an information overload?
Right.
But then how are they going to experience that idea of, okay, this is what spirituality feels like?
The only way is if they see their parents benefiting from the rituals, from the religion, or from the spiritual practices that they're doing.
So they see it being modeled.
Exactly. There is no other way.
Hmm.
If they see that my parents have been following certain practices, it could be either rituals, religion, or spiritual practices, and they see that they have been able to improve their life, you don't need to prove anything. They will adopt it.
Right. Okay.
Do you see what I'm saying? And please understand that the kids are very smart to look at spot contradictions. They can very well spot contradiction. You should be ready with it. I mean, there was a child who asked, very innocent question, but it was hard hitting. He said, okay, you offer milk in the temples and you consume milk and you call yourself a vegetarian. On what basis? Because it's also a cruelty to animals.
You talk about ahimsa, but this is what you're
That's
doing
what you
to the
do.
animals.
Yeah. You basically don't eat non-veg on certain days. On certain days you eat. So God is allowing you to kill on certain days and not to. What is happening? So they're not mocking God. They are actually showing us that our double standards.
The hypocrisy of our own practices.
Exactly.
Right.
There is another child who I was. So we were watching a video, a spiritual reader, great spiritual reader, and he was talking about compassion. And one of his followers asked him a very tough question, and that person, the spiritual leader, snapped back at him. And the boy says, "Uncle, look,"
Talking about compassion.
he's also getting angry. You see what I'm saying? They're very quick to spot the contradictions, and they're going to look up to you, that the person who is preaching spirituality, wanting us to follow religion, what are they doing in their life? Are
Right.
they up there? Are they following it? Are they doing it? And that's what it is.
But our lives are not perfect, right? Even though we might be, giving that idea of happiness, calm, and all, we're not perfect all the time.
Yeah.
And that contradictions are there.
Right.
It is how life is.
Right.
Then what do we do?
Nothing. Just tell this is how it is. Accept that there are contradictions. Accept the fact that we slip. Accept the fact that we are ourselves not very clear. Can we have this authentic conversation with our children? Tell them that, okay, I may be pouring milk or using milk, consuming milk. Fine, I see what you're saying. But yes, we are doing it right now. There is no harm in being authentic and saying this is what it is right now. This is how we are. See, this is not the only thing, right? There are a lot of times you would have gone through severe challenges in life and you would have used those spiritual practices, or spirituality would have helped you to overcome them. There are certain brighter aspects to it also.
Right.
Yes. Discuss those with your children or with the young adults. Tell them that you had gone through severe issues in life and how spirituality helped you, how those religion helped you, how those rituals helped you overcome those challenges. Talk to them about things where it has worked. There are always things when it has not worked. But show them that picture, show them both the sides. The problem is when we
Force.
right. No.
Then it becomes like that school thing where you're forcing them and then they're just going to be averse to it.
I will tell you, there are so many people who hate lighting diyas. It's such a beautiful thing. Why? Because they feel that I've been forced. I won't do it. And why won't you? Because I just don't feel like doing it. All these things are happening because
it has been forced on you, and you don't really understand it.
You really don't understand it.
I get it.
And even as a parent, we are flawed, so be it. It's fine. I'm ready to accept that. I personally accept a lot of places where I fall down and a lot of places where I can get up quickly, where I have used spirituality as a means to move ahead.
So just informing them and letting them know also that these are the things that have happened and this is how my practices have helped me.
Absolutely. And encourage the children to do a lot of research on happiness studies, which has happened by a lot of Ivy League colleges today. A lot of Ivy League colleges have done work on happiness. I've been a part of one of such programs. And what was shocking to me, that their research is finally saying all those things individuals should do, what exactly has been told in Karma Yoga in Bhagavad Gita.
Oh, is it?
In Bhagavad Gita, whatever has been said in terms of how to lead your life using Karma Yoga as a principle, they are just using, I'm not saying they're copying, but their data also is saying the same things, that if you you need to make money, but beyond a point of time, money will stop giving you that incremental happiness. It is the purpose, it is the feeling that you have towards the work, it's about the community. You go out, ask your young adults to find what keeps people happy and let them give the facts, and then superimpose with what's been written in our scriptures. And you should they I mean, this was written some 10,000, 5,000 years ago. This is the smarter way to do it.
So this way they have all the facts as well.
Yes,
And we have something to substantiate that data also.
absolutely.
Great. So, I mean, just being authentic with them, being
Yeah.
honest with them,
Yes.
and sharing our experiences.
Yes.
And also, if they can see that it has helped, if they
Yes.
can visually see
Yes.
that your practices are what is helping you in your, day-to-day life,
Right.
this is also something that will help them to come towards spirituality.
Absolutely. And you need not be perfect.
Yeah,
It's fine. We are all flawed. It's fine.
exactly. Right. So then how do we encourage them to, to take up this path towards spirituality?
See, as I said, that you can just give them a space, right? One more interesting point which comes to my mind is that if you ask any young adult, when you ask them what encourages them, ask them that if I were to ask you, if you are somewhere between 15 25 years old, who will inspire you? Who will inspire? Where do you get inspiration from?
I would probably say some celebrity or like
Yes.
a businesswoman,
Yeah.
maybe some influencer.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, this is what I would probably say.
So, will a young adult ever say that he's a spiritual leader, I'm inspired to be one of them? Unlikely.
Unlikely, maybe some, but not
Most
all.
of them will
Yeah.
not. And most of them will basically go with what you said, right? More sports people, movie stars, businessmen and women, cricketers, all of them. Now, if they connect with them, which is with money, success, glamour, glitz. On the other hand, you have spiritual leaders. And when they connect spiritual leaders with spirituality, they will say, hey, I don't want to follow the path of spirituality because I may end up becoming as one of them. There's nothing wrong. I'm just saying that they may not aspire to be that. Do you see where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
And this is where it is very important for us to bring out right examples. You know about Novak Djokovic, right?
Yeah.
He's the best, one of the best tennis players. He vouches. He basically does mindfulness
And meditation. Yeah.
right?
And he speaks very openly about it.
Look at Virat Kohli, right? He also does visualization, meditation. You basically talk about lot of businessmen today who have listed their companies, who are doing extremely well, young entrepreneurs. They will talk about how meditation is helping them keep their calm, how they are centered. Some of them have even spoken about how Bhagavad Gita has given them light, has allowed them to come out of those problems. So those are the points that needs to be talked about. Because when the young adults see that, hey, here is a person who is successful, who is achieving so much in life, but is able to do with certain amount of peace, calmness, stability, direction, and that can be generated using spirituality, they will find spirituality cool.
Yeah.
It is very important to suggest and to show them that spirituality is not anti-growth
Or anti-success.
or anti-success. Spirituality enables growth. It enables success. It enables you to achieve what you are meant to do. It's not about going in the mountains and leading a secluded life.
That's not for everyone.
That's not for everyone.
Yeah.
So the point here is putting out right role models to our young adults is enough. There are enough and more people out there using these practices. They are highly successful and they can be there.
Right. So what you're like, can I just sum up all the points
Oh
that
yes, yes, let's do that, because we went all over
Yeah.
the place. So it's important, because we initially started with what prevents them from
Yeah.
being spiritual, so to say, and in the process we also spoke about how we can help, right?
Yeah.
So I think, yeah, it's important that you put it together.
So I think first and foremost, what I got from the conversation was the simple fact that just because they question doesn't make it a rebellion.
Yes.
It's something. You had also mentioned the word vivekam.
Viveka. Yeah.
Viveka.
And from that, sorry, a lot of youngsters like Swami Vivekananda.
Okay.
Why? He was successful. He was a star. The way he spoke, the way he looked, he kept himself fit, right? That's the role model. I'm sorry, I just came in between.
No, I mean, and that's the whole point, right? Like, they need to have someone that they relate with
They relate with.
and they aspire to be, not just a yogi in the
Yeah.
mountains, like you said.
Yeah. In fact, have you watched the movie of it's Mangal? Sorry, it is Mission Mangal
Right.
of
Yeah,
Vidya
okay,
Balan.
okay. Yeah, yeah.
No, she's
the
a
rocket where they're
scientist.
Okay.
It was a very interesting scene. It just captured my attention. I just remember when I'm talking to you right now. So her son wanted to change his religion, and he was first of all asking her that, you are being scientist, why do you still believe in God? She said, no, there are higher powers that we cannot explain. And when he said that he would want to change his religion, she was very calm. And while talking, she told him that, pray the power, not the picture, or not the photo. Something like that. That pray the power,
The
not
force.
the force. Pray the
Yeah.
force, yeah, not the photo. So, and that boy was like, started thinking about it. This is what is required to bring out the essence,
Right.
without trying to.
And also get them to question it. It's
them to
good to
question.
question, I think. Right?
Sorry, I just came
Yeah,
in between,
no.
because a lot of thoughts came in. Young adults is a very interesting.
It is, and it's such a nice way to bring it, even for a parent, for them to see how you can instill instill spirituality, or how can you answer different questions that they bring up.
Right.
I think it's a very nice conversation that we had, but I would love to like sort of
Just sum it
see
up.
if I've
Yeah.
got it right,
Yeah,
more than
please,
anything
please
else.
do that.
Right? So first and foremost, you said like, right, asking questions is a good thing.
Yeah.
Being curious is good.
Yes.
And not just taking everything at face value.
Yes.
We're not looking for blind faith.
Yes.
Right? Then of course you said any rituals we do introduce it in a gentle way. Don't force it on them. Make sure they understand the meaning, and also how it's going to help them by doing that ritual.
Sure.
Right? So I
Yes.
think that was also something that we covered. Then of course we spoke about, not mixing science, understanding the scope of science, understanding the scope of religion, understanding the scope of
Very
spirituality.
important. Very important.
Right? And
Yes.
also I think that fitness example you gave is really stuck in my head, saying that we all take different paths to fitness, but eventually we are all looking for that same goal.
Yeah. Goal. Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect. So, and of course, now we just had that thing of where we need to be honest with them. We're not looking for perfection.
Yes.
We are not saying that, if you do this, you will have this all the time. Life happens.
Yes.
And it's okay to be open with them and authentic with them. And that's something that will bring up more questions probably. And we'll have a discussion about something and they will learn more from it. I think
Yeah,
that's
and you
how
don't
it
have need to
is.
have an answer for everything.
Right.
It's okay.
It's okay to just say, I don't know.
I don't know. We are at fault. Sometimes, yeah, we slip.
Right. And of course, the last one was just the icing on the cake, where we need to sort of model it. We need to show them,
Yes.
right? That if I'm having certain practices, if I'm going, if I am spiritual in nature, then this is how it's helping me.
Yeah.
This is how my life has changed.
Right.
And just seeing that how it helps you could inspire them to also follow the same path.
Absolutely. And we should talk about it.
Right.
We should talk about how it is helping you rather than what they should do. That's very important. And there should be a lot of open conversations around this in the home.
And accepting their point of view should also be part of that.
It's okay. They will learn that. Right. And maybe also putting out right kind of role models, asking them to go and research about happiness.
Because even when you said, I don't really remember, I think it was, I'm sure it was Steve Jobs, who had mentioned that he was very inspired by reading the autobiography of a yogi.
Yeah, correct.
So it is. I mean, we need to give them that kind of role models as well, saying that, and spirituality is not anti-success. It's very much about, how can you make that success sustainable,
Yes, it's sustainable success.
right? So
yeah.
if you give them that kind of examples, I think
Right.
that is going to encourage them to go towards that path.
Perfect. You've always been very good at summing it up. So you've summed it very beautifully. Now,
Something I've learned today.
no, that's nice. And you wanted to ask some questions?
Yes, I did start with saying I have two questions.
Yeah.
So again, I was telling you that it was a very personal example or a personal experience that I've had. A very good friend lost her mother. She was quite old. She was in her 90s, and it was a natural death. It was a expected, not something that came out of the blue. But somewhere I feel that, even after a lot of time has passed, that they were not able to come out of it.
Okay.
And it's not just grief. I feel it is something much deeper.
Yes, it is.
Right? So then what do we do? How can we help them, and how can they help themselves?
And that's why you were asking.
That's why I said I'll bring it up at the end after I have this conversation about young adults.
And you felt that if these things were introduced to us when we were young, we would be able to face these losses.
Would it help?
Would it help?
Would it help us face, life situations?
Right. No, there's a very, very valid point. It's a real life case. So why don't we just pick this up in the upcoming shoot? Because it's going to take some time to kind of discuss this. And to our audience, we do conduct our regular workshops exactly in the same way, through questions and answers format. The idea is to make spirituality simple for you at Tvame. The idea is to help you see how what has been stated in Upanishads can be used in our day-to-day lives, how it centers us, and how it helps us reach where we are supposed to go. Gives us clarity, gives us wisdom. And if you're interested to be a part of these workshops, live workshops, please go ahead and register yourself by putting in your details, which is there in the link, which is in the description below.
And if you liked today's video, please do share it with your friends, subscribe to our channel, and definitely leave your valuable comments below. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and let there be grace in our learning. Thank you. Namaste.